Here's a prototype of a very limited ball with a dial that no other watch brand has ever done before. Some months ago, I asked Ball if they've ever made limited run custom watches, and I was pleasantly surprised to hear that they do. In fact, they've done several of them. So we started talking about doing a Ball watch and a Ball event where we could celebrate the brand and the state of Utah with other watch collectors that live in this state where I reside. So I want to say I talk to a lot of brands. I suggest things like this on a regular basis, but very few brands are ever interested in doing something like that. And that just shows me with Ball being interested and Ball wanting to do that to connect with collectors, that's something that very few, respected independent brands even entertain. So they really care about collectors. It means something to get one-on-one time with the most enthusiastic in the consumer base. It's easy to say no. It's a lot harder to move forward with something like this. So last weekend, Kevin Kuch, the executive director of Ball Watches in Switzerland, he flew from Europe here to Utah, and he gave a great presentation about the history of this once American watch company, and he did it to a large group of watch collectors. And it was there that we introduced this prototype, this watch, this Engineer 3 Marvelite chronometer, Utah edition. So what makes this special? Well, the dial is made from a rare, semi-precious stone called honeycomb calcite. This is Utah's state stone. This mineral was discovered pretty recently in 1995, and it's only found one place in the world, the southwest part of the Uinta mountain range here in northern Utah. So you can only find this stone here, and this is the first time that this material has ever been placed in a watch. No other watch brand has done this. Why is that? Well, for one, not many watch brands even work with stone dials. And personally speaking, I think that's a shame. I love stone dial watches. I think they're fantastic. But the top stones that you're likely to come across are tiger eye and malachite, turquoise, or lapis lazuli. There are other options out there certainly, but as a whole concept, stone dials, they're just not that common because the material is difficult to work with. The refinement process as you're shaving down the stone and polishing it and printing on it, it's prone to chips and cracks and crumbling of different parts of the dial. It's difficult to do. So when you compare that, the cost of doing that compared to making a traditional metal dial, it just makes it so most brands stay away from the idea. Now, this honeycomb calcite is just a dense material. It's heavier, it's denser than granite, but it's also very soft, coming in at a 3 on the Mohs scale. So while you're cutting and polishing and printing, it's so easy to chip, crack, or scratch. It's just very hard to work with, and I'm not sure that we're ever going to see another brand work with honeycomb calcite again. So yes, this watch is limited to 99 pieces, but the overall rarity will only strengthen over time because I just don't foresee other brands sourcing and cutting honeycomb calcite. Now, take a look at this gorgeous marbling. There are varied white wisps of crystal that make up what's known as a lattice form. The hue of the stone varies from light yellow to a deep golden amber. And here is a larger, lower grade chunk of honeycomb calcite that I've owned for a while. And you can really see the difference in the color, the tone, and the pattern, how you can get variance, especially in size too. And so Ball, I think they chose a great cut of a deeper orange tone that has smaller marbling or lattice work, and I think that's ideal for use in a watch dial. Now here's the first prototype that they produced. You'll notice that it doesn't have the tritium tubes in the applied markers yet, but if you turn it on to the side, you can see just how thin this stone has to be cut. I measure that at 0.35 of 1 millimeter. And so it's just impressive that they were able to go that thin and mount it onto a dial plate to place within this Engineer 3. The orange hues of the stone, they perfectly complement the off-white tone of the tritium gas tubes, and I think it also stands out nicely against this brighter tone of 904L steel that Ball uses throughout the watch. Now, I asked Ball if they could place this honeycomb calcite dial within an Engineer 3 Marvelite chronometer because it's a model within the brand catalog that I think really packs a value punch, but it also has wide appeal with this 40 millimeter case. And apart from being, crafted out of 904L steel and having tritium gas tubes that constantly emit a bright glow in the dark, the watch has very high anti-shock and anti-magnetic features. It can withstand magnetic flux density of 1000 Gauss and shocks as high as 5000 Gs. The movement is chronometer certified, and this example is running at plus 1.5 seconds per day. The watch has ARC coatings on the sapphire crystal, and I think that's really important, not just for legibility, but for allowing us to admire the striking, vibrant dial just to a higher degree of clarity. Lastly, this watch has a thread-down style crown, 100 meters of water resistance, and a sharp H-link style bracelet with each link having full articulation. I enjoy the screw pin connectors and the chamfering on each link. I think it only adds to the overall light play, especially when you're outside in natural light. But this is the best part. Looking at the specs, the details, the features, this custom rare dial, you would expect a high retail price, but that's not the case here. The full retail cost is only $1,999. So that's less expensive than an average Engineer 3. So this can be ordered right now through our Utah authorized Ball retailer, which is Summit Watch Club in Heber, Utah. I've linked the store below. Ball is only making 99 of these Utah editions, so they are each individually numbered on the stainless steel case back, and the numbers are reserved on a first come, first served type of basis. So you can order right now through Summit, and delivery will be within 3 months. I've placed all the links and all the information here in the description of the video. So I think this watch has specific Utah appeal with this dial selection, especially if you were one of the about 80 or so people who came out to our Ball watch party last week and were able to interact with the executive director of the brand, see the other limited editions in person, and just experience that with other local collectors. I think this watch is for you if you were there. But that said, this does not say Utah edition anywhere on the watch. So it also has some broader appeal to those who just love unique or beautiful dials, rare dials, or especially to those who, like me, have a big appreciation for rare rocks and minerals. So I think if you collect stone dial watches, this one should be on your list. Now, what about any negative aspects? I really could only think of one. In the future, I would love to see a sport style clasp with a toolless micro adjustment system. This is a watch that you could absolutely wear every day, and having that adjustability on the fly, I think would be a benefit. Though this bracelet does have a pretty clean look with the butterfly style clasp, I would prefer an adjustable sport clasp. Other than that, this watch is sized right. It has excellent features. It has sharp details. It has a gorgeous stone dial. It's accurate. It's tough. It's legible. I think it's versatile enough to dress up a little bit with or wear casually in sport situations. But best of all, it's just priced right, especially for something that's so limited. So thank you to Ball for coming out to Utah, for helping us put on a great watch event, and for making such an awesome Utah-centered watch. Thank you also to Summit Watch Club in Heber, Utah, for coming out to the event and for assisting all of us interested in buying this specific limited edition watch. Lastly, thank you for watching today. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope to see you again in another watch video.